Hey guys, it's Lucid, welcome back. It is turn 67, and we're playing with Sceleria. And quick recap from last episode, we have been raiding Agartha quite successfully. Though not without any losses, it's definitely going in our favor. Agartha is still definitely up in provinces from before his battle with Marignon, or his invasion of Marignon. But it looks like the momentum has been on our side so far. So we have a message from Marignon, well played. We have a message from Abyssia. I hereby end our nap 3. First attack orders I might give are on turn 68. Our first battles might incur on turn 69. Very clear. Arcane Nexus, nice. Which, speaking of which, we'll have to see how many... Okay, only 28 gems. This is a paltry sum for Arcane Nexus. Hopefully we get more. Arcane Nexus has two benefits. One is other people don't really want to spend their pearl or their gems casting different spells, so they end up not doing a lot of things they would otherwise normally do. And then the other thing it does is it obviously gives me an astral pearl income. So anyway, we cast Dispel. I forget exactly which one we were trying to dispel. Let's take a look. Was probably Eternal Pyre, or it could have been Gift of Health. Probably would have been Eternal Pyre. Gift of Health I'll probably just overcast. Gift of Health is something I want to control. It's actually really good on Sceleria. It makes your skeletons much stronger. We get attacked here, but okay, so we get some Earth Elemental attacks, which are going to be sniping our Mound Kings. And while this is annoying, it is not really the end of the world. This is a 5 Earth Gem investment for a 3 Death Gem investment. The only problem, of course, is I'm not moving along my troops that were attached to the Mound King. But all in all, not bad. Okay, so then we get attacked by a Golem. And the ability to fight Sceleria well is largely dependent on your ability to counter-raid and to kill his raiders, so things like Earth Attack are good for counter-raiding, but it's pretty gem expensive. Once you have a Golem who can run around and knock out parties, especially in the magic phase, where you're going to have a good chance of killing the commanders, it's going to be much better. So especially if he gets back and kills my commanders, those are the real asset here. You know, this is almost 20 gems of commanders. These are 8 apiece. And he is going to have no trouble killing all these skeletons. In terms of buffs, he's got Ethereal and then Fire Shield. Astral Shield, I don't think Astral Shield does anything. Because my skeletons are mindless, you don't see paralysis working. And we do, let's see, he's at 100. Yeah, we're not doing too much damage to him. His armor isn't great, he doesn't really have any armor buffs. It's really, and if we get a head hit, we can definitely do some damage. But we're just not terribly likely to hit. He doesn't have great stats either, like defense is 0. But with Fire Shield, he's just killing things off pretty quickly. So okay, we did a little damage. He's not immune to damage, but I don't think he's going to get my commanders though. It looks like we're running pretty efficiently off the battlefield. Yeah, so this is a Golem. This is what Golems do. They are definitely counterable, though. We found a site, Crystal Flame, which actually, I think this is a 2-gem site. Yeah. Fire Astral. Cool. Blood Slave Economy going pretty good. Okay, so this... I had kind of pulled a fair... I think I took 2 raiding parties and put them here. Actually, is this PD? That might be PD. Yeah, I think that's PD. Yeah, okay. So that's just a low commitment rate. Okay, we've got a big battle here, so let's see what happens. This might be my first big battle with Agartha. He's got... Okay, this does not look like a super high commitment attack for me. I've only got, looks like 10 or 15 mages. A few Rotarius... Some undead. I have a Troll King, so this is a pretty high commitment attack for me. Okay, I've got Home Slice here. we've got a lot of our gear for Firestorm. Okay, this goes Army of Gold. We do have Wither Bones coming out, and on one hand, buffing all your dudes with Wither Bones, with Army of Gold is going to make them really hard to get killed. There is a problem with this, however, and the problem is that, okay, so we have flying Agarthan statues, which it's not easy to get these guys to fly. You can imagine a big block of marble would be quite heavy, but yeah, there's a problem with this. One of them is that things like Wither Bones, which are armor negating but only affect undead, will always go through these things. Will always go through your protection. So buffing undead up with protection isn't as dependable or reliable as buffing other things up. But our undead, I think, also have mass flight, yeah. So we're jumping in around their mages, and we're kind of just trading. The thing is, like, fire is an armor-piercing attack, so it's going to kind of go through our high protection score. But really, it's kind of grindy. When both sides have army of gold or lead up, and none of them have more kind of glass cannon builds where they have really high damage outlay, it can kind of go on for a long time. But all in all, I think it depends. If we get a fair number of his mages, I think we'll be in good shape. It's not looking like we're going to win the fight. But I think my economy's better, and like I can replace this army better than he can. We'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the speed here. Yeah, my guys are kind of disappearing. We have a little bit of apostasy spam coming out, but probably not as much as I'd like. Apostasy is going to be pretty solid here. I mean, they do have kind of high MR. You can see my mages are pretty hard to kill. 20 protection, mist-formed. I guess this guy's not ethereal. Does he have luck? Yeah, he's got Twist Fate on him, and I don't see luck, but I probably should have luck. He's also regenerating, so they're not going to die super easily. Phantasmal Beast. Nether Darts is interesting. It's an MR check, I believe, but is armor negating if it hits. So their flying dudes are coming out in enough number, especially with these fire attacks. They are going to be able to kill my mages, who previously had been resistant to dying. So I think we'll have to for us to judge this, we really have to look at the battle report. So we lost basically everything. The Wraith Lord will respawn. Troll King made it out, it looks like, as did the White Mage, but and then so a lot of our really high value units made it out, which is fine. We lost some chaff, which is really nothing, but we did lose a fair number of thaumaturgs. On his side, he lost some golem crafters, and he lost a fair amount of chaff. He lost about half of his important units. Of the sentinels, the magma children, he lost about a quarter. Shard guards actually survived very well. The thing is, I think he put up Army of Gold. It is very good on the Shard Guard, because they have very low base natural protection, but very high armor. And so Army of Gold will get them up into the... We actually should just go back and check. I just want to show you what what their protection got up to. I mean, it got up high enough where it's going to be basically immune to... So let's take a look at them. They were also positioned differently. They were closer to the back. But yeah, 28 protection. Yeah, pretty nuts. Versus the statues, which are normally your very high protection dude. And they do have high protection, but it's 28. Normally these guys have way higher protection, but since it's all natural protection to start with. When you buff it with Army of Lead, it actually doesn't buff as well as your Shard Guard. So, all in all, this is about an even trade. So this is not really good for either of us. His Lich is going to respawn. The Golem, I lost more in terms of Mage Core. He's probably happy with this, but honestly, this isn't even a big deal for me. I think if you look at Jim's lost, he probably lost more. I don't know. I mean, this is not great. Like, I don't know if I would continue doing this trade. I want better outcomes. I think I needed more undead. 500 is not really enough to bring with this kind of Mage Core commitment. I don't know. Let's actually check and see where he did a lot of these assassinations. Were they... Okay, no. I don't know where they were. He was getting raiders. I was thinking maybe he killed some of them. I think I just went and moved that many troops in. Like, I only had 600. So that's that. We lost that... Or not lost. Well, we lost, but we kind of traded out that battle. Okay, we've got a lot of dudes here. I don't know what they're going to run into, but... Okay, so Agarthan is doing a very committed attack here. My dog's outside, or my sister's dog is outside barking, but you can already tell from looking at my mage lineup, I do not have a lot of the key cross paths here. Like, I don't have nature, I don't have... There's a lot of things I don't have. I don't have earth. So this is probably not going to go well. But we'll see. I probably still have things like Mass Flight and Fog Warriors. Here comes Shadow Blast. Just plows into my lines. Things I do have that are good here is I've got a good mix of Rotarius with my other dudes, so that's pretty important. And I think, I don't know whose Foul Vapors it is. I'm hoping it's mine. But I don't give a shit about Foul Vapors. I don't know if I probably put it up. I don't see a Jade lady. Okay, he's got Mass Flight coming down, messing up all my stuff. Oh, I do have a Troll King. So that means we should be having Army of... Oh, Army of Gold's already down. Boom. What you know about that? My Wraith Lord's running around. Okay, we've got some good stuff here, guys. We might win this. Problem when he does Mass Flight is his guys get surrounded by mine. Usually you want to do Mass Flight more if you have a numbers advantage or if you're just trying to snipe enemy mages. So he got some mages with Mass Flight and like going to the back, but it's getting all his dudes surrounded. Far more than it's getting mine. Okay, this guy's just does not care. He's running into the back line, which is dangerous with death mages because they have armor negating attacks like dust to dust or what have you. He's also going to get cursed with these shard glaives. But he does have a smasher, which is if we can get him into some of the inanimates, which he seems to be avoiding, he's going to do a lot of damage. Okay, boom, he just pops from the shard glaives. Shard glaives do a ton of damage. So, rip Wraith Lord. Small investment in terms of the items on him. Okay, Nether Darts is coming out. These guys do like casting Nether Darts. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the speed here. Oops. Okay, it does not look like we're gonna be winning. This, by the way, is what a mid-late game Agarthan army should look like. The one thing he did really well is he got really good air access, so he has Fairy Queens all over the place, which is, I guess, largely through nature. But I know in my Agartha playthrough I had trouble getting air early, and air is really important. So, one of the other things that makes these guys great, if you get air, is they're so hard to kill, so if they jump in out of position to the backline, it's kind of okay. And that's how that went. I think that was this one. So, he lost not that much, only 41. And we lost almost everything. And yeah, so losing 2 big battles to Agartha, that is going to represent some kind of turning point. Usually when you lose some of your major armies, it's a lot harder to raid after that too. So we'll see if the province graph ends up swinging in the other direction. But we're going to go click through the rest of these. So we'll just click through the rest of these. Which one were we at? Okay, so that was the big battle that we lost. Yeah, okay. We successfully raided here. Agartha pinged us here, but we had some dudes, so... let's see where that was, where he was pinging. Okay, so he was just pinging on top of this fort, so presumably he might attack next turn. And then... apparently there is a Tartarian up. So Agartha has one of their first super combatants out, that I've seen anyway. And oddly it has an eye catcher, which is a very interesting choice against undead chaff. A charcoal shield, which makes sense. This one does not have feeble-minded gone yet, but it is a commander, otherwise you can't put items on it. So, without being able to self-buff and only 24 protection, it will probably fall. So probably a good thing, especially with Gift of Health up, that we went ahead and attacked them. Yeah, they got paralyzed, and it's really just a matter of time. And anyway, she's definitely going to die. I'll speed through this so we don't just sit here looking at it, yeah. We did lose a fair amount, though. I think that was this one. Yeah, so it cost us 63 chaff, but that is not a big deal. And then coming down, there was a battle in this fortress, and let's see how this goes. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of stuff here, actually. We have the Frostfather, which is his pretender, so I guess he respawned already. And then a bunch of mages, so this actually would be pretty tricky. And the Mind Blasting is actually doing a fair amount of damage. I don't really have anything to soak up the Mind Blast. I have a few bodyguards, but, you know, ideally you would have more. So yeah, they definitely have enough Mind Blasters that it is causing some problems. I'm going to fast forward here. The problem really is that he has... army of lead up, I think, and he has dudes in the that are just perfectly positioned right in the gate, and so we can't get through that. And then with a horde of, or with a ton of banishment coming down, we end up, I think, with rigor mortis getting these guys pretty close to being all fatigued out, but it is not going to be enough. So anyway, very well fought. And this is the net effect. We lose basically everything, and he loses a few sprites, which doesn't even matter. I think this is actually mostly due to the fire aura from Magma Children and other things. So that was unsuccessful. And then finally there's a battle here where Agartha is trying to storm a Marinese fort, and this will probably be successful. Yeah. Okay. We get a bunch of gems, and I think that's about it. Anything important here? The events weren't important. No, I think that's it. Some of our immortals have respawned that we lost this turn. They have Immortality 1, I think. So, if we take a look at the province graph, we can see actually, even though we lost some major battles this turn, we still increased our province count. So, kind of losing some battles, but winning the war. We are probably going to lose some ground, because losing to 2 major armies, I don't know if I have another big stack ready to go. Where was the fort that we lost at? Okay, it was right here. We tried to storm this fort. So, we still have one dude on top, but there is a big army inside here, and that's probably going to be cause us some trouble. I don't know what he has inside here. There's a huge King of Flames who can do fires from the sky, or flames from the sky, among some other things. But we're probably... I'm going to be a little careful storming forts, especially after that kind of bad encounter up there. We have broken through this fort. I have a fair amount of dudes on top, but I don't have any of the important cross paths here. Like, I don't have air or nature or anything. So I'm expecting that rather than give up this, which is a pretty important province that has Crystal Amazons, which I would really like, I'm pretty sure this army is going to come and knock me off. And now, if that does happen, and I lose this, I'm going to really start losing some ground over the next few turns. So what I'm going to try to do is to start pulling his major armies off of important locations like this fort. And I'm going to... If I can get enough threats out and I can check enough forts, eventually I'll keep dodging his main army. Eventually there will be a fort that I check that he can't respond to with one of his large armies. And then I'll be able to take it. So basically, yeah, we're going to move a ton of dudes down here. And I am moving into this province also one of the air mages so that we can get fog warriors and mass flight down. So anyway, and yeah, I think that's mostly it. We're going to be moving another large army on top of this fort to ping this. I don't think there's much inside, and we can see the sites that are here. We have gem deposits and the underworld, and this will give us the gnome, which having a recruit anywhere earth mage when we can make crystal matrices would be huge, because then I won't have to do troll kings for all the major forces to get army of lead and army of gold down. So anyway, taking this is actually probably one of our highest priorities at the moment. So we're going to put a major army here, but I'll probably have to dodge. Though we'll see. The other thing is it's a... this is a river crossing, so even if the army pops out this turn, if I can one turn crack it, he may not be able to get up here. And that is because most of his important mages can't cross that river. So anyway, that's one of the plays. Otherwise, we're kind of going to build this army up a bit more. The army I have here isn't coming out. Though, potentially, I could have taken this and moved it up here, and then I would be checking both of these forts. And so if he moves here next turn, he would have to make a decision which fort he wants to protect. And if I tried to take both of them, I would definitely get one fort, but I would lose one army, and that may be okay. But anyway, this guy's going to keep moving up here. We did lose this battle, and he has cracked this fort. And the problem is I don't really have anything to take it back. I have all my dudes in here. We're basically just going to try to get him out by doing a retreat. Some of these guys actually we're going to do magic duel retreat because why not kill some of his astro mages? I forget who they were. I remember I checked and I think he had some. Yeah, some of these crystal sorcerers. Some of the crystal sorceresses are in the same square as other mages, and magic duel is actually AoE 1, so it's going to kill whoever's in the same square as them. I think some of the alchemists too. Yeah. So anyway, it is definitely going to be a good trade if we can get some magic duels off. So that's basically it. We're probably going to lose this, but we're moving in a big army here to potentially take it back, though we don't have quite enough mage support to continue on forward. And we've got only, due to that message from Abyssia, we only have a turn or two until he attacks us, so we have to kind of prepare. But I'm probably not going to be able to hold on to that after... Anyway. So that's not good. That means Agarthan's getting a lot of the thrones he's going to need to win. And I've got to definitely make sure I can protect the ones I have. Like, he's probably going to make a play for this one. And, yeah. So, I think that is it for this turn. And anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time.